Hello again. It is good to see you. And here we are putting together YouTube number 2, and we hope you will see it soon. So, we start with one story, a second, and a third. First is about a ship known as the Titanic. We all know what happened, but let us suppose that there were people on board who knew it was traveling too fast, and they whispered and developed a plan to sneak into the bridge with like the old-timey movies, with a bottle of chloroform and handkerchiefs, and help the crew go to sleep, leaning against the wall. So they do that, and that brings us to the question, what is the requisite number of people to do that? 20? No, that's too many. Let's say there are 5 people on the bridge, 5 officers on the bridge. 20, too many. 1, not enough. Let's suppose they decide on 7. So the requisite number is 7, and they creep into the bridge, and soon the crew is sleeping, and the selected individual grabs the brass handle of the engine order telegraph, which is that stand, and the round face on which it says, this is bow and that's stern, it says full speed ahead. And then it goes clang, clang, upright, stop. And then clang, clang, astern, full astern. So Captain Smith, well, first of all, he was obviously a very notable person. There were other very notable people aboard too. The engineer who had designed it, apparently, I'll have to see the movie again, and some members of wealthy families, Ascots, I believe, and there were financiers, businessmen, and somewhere there came the notion, Captain Smith, perhaps within, or perhaps the directive was, because this was a very fancy group, it's time to have the line, can't remember the name, shine by going full speed ahead and beat the record crossing the line. So that didn't work out very well, and lo and behold, they crashed and sank. So that's the story of the Titanic. And next we'll talk about another ship, and we'll bring the two together. Welcome back. Now we're talking about another ship, and this is Starship Earth. Huge planet on which we all reside, thanks to gravity, and the Starship Earth is plummeting through space, zooming through space at many, many miles an hour, way past the speed limit in Atlanta, although that's getting faster all the time. The Earth is huge. The number of people, 2 hours ago, looked at the Earth population ticker, and within only a few weeks, we will have hit 8 billion crew members of the Starship Earth. Now that said, I want to address the notion that humans are programmed genetically to be violent. And I say that the ticker proves that's not so. Had we been prone to violence, all of us, then we wouldn't be here, because we would have done ourselves in long ago. And think about it, it's astonishing that tonight, wherever night is for folks, there will be people during a 24-hour period falling asleep and waking up. And we'll have 8 billion tomorrow, because we're not as violent as people suppose, which is a heartening notion. So what I want to have you do is think about think about being a crew member on the ship. And think about, if we compare it, Titanic was in trouble and some people knew it. The Earth, our Earth, is in serious trouble, and we all need to know it so that we can develop, again, the requisite number. Obviously it's not 7, but it's many, many millions of people have to participate in a process that will specifically begin the cooling process. We've got a lot of other problems, obviously, and we'll talk about those in future YouTubes. But certainly the temperature rising is the most critical. So with that in mind, we'll move next to, for the Dubuquers, the local library. Here we go again, and this is about the library. I lived in Florida for a long time. My body grew up in the snow. I was ice skating when I was 5, and I ended up coming north and in '02 and staying here. And I look forward to acquiring my first set of cross-country skis as soon as the flakes drop, or before. So there we have it. And if I didn't love Dubuque as a place to live, I wouldn't stay and would wander off elsewhere. One of my favorite parts of Dubuque, well, certainly the people. The people, the architecture, the beautiful homes, the restaurants, there's so much to do. It's just astonishing. But certainly one of my favorite buildings is the Carnegie Stout Library. Long ago, Andrew Carnegie, I think that's how it's pronounced, met Mayor Stout. They developed an idea, and they built a huge, huge granite, I believe, library in the middle of downtown. It is spectacular. They refurbished it several years ago. It's magnificent, and all the folks who run it are marvelous. And so I'm suggesting that all Dubuquers visit the library often. Many, obviously a lot of books, but they also have a huge number of DVDs, which are important as we proceed with, especially non-fiction DVDs that talk about the state of the earth and suggest ways we might proceed to make things better, ameliorate. So, just a short bit on films. See if you can find well, first of all, start with Network. Read Network again. It's all about networks and how disastrous they can be as far as news promulgation, news spewing, and media schlockmeister. Network is a classic. The other is, well, first I want to add that Carnegie Stout Library has a service. You, with your card, can walk down and sign up for it. You can call them, or you can go online to their website, sign up for Kanopy, K-A-N-O-P-Y, streaming service. You sign up, you get 10 free movies per month. So do that, because the Kanopy Vault is spectacular. And as things progress with these YouTubes and what we publish on our various websites and on Facebook, we'll be sharing really mandatory viewing for those who are interested in becoming peace engineering apprentices. We'll talk about that in the last segment. But in any case, take advantage of that. Don't take the building for granted. Sorry, no, I'm not. Anyway, take advantage of the library and visit often. So we started with a ship, then the Titanic, then we moved to the Earth, Starship Earth, and then we talked about the library, how important it is, how blessed we are in Dubuque to have the Carnegie Stout Library. And next we talk more specifically about peace engineering But what we're doing soon is developing the process of becoming a peace engineering apprentice. So we're inviting all of you to consider that. The process will be published shortly, shared on YouTube. But for now, we invite you to consider it, and consider that in the old times there were apprenticeships for everything, for woodworking, and of course glass works, and we all remember tinkers, tailors, candlestick makers. So we invite you to become a peace engineering apprentice. And here, as a reminder, and some of you may not have heard this, back in 1982 in the Dark Ages, speaking of guilds, back then I and others founded Peace Engineering in Florida, actually. And we were obviously had to put together a plan, and we put together a short list of specific purposes. So here they are. To help increase the beneficial communication among the people of the earth, to promote the peaceful use of all the existing products of and the future developments in technology. Important. Computers, rather important. There weren't too many in 1982. To discourage the use of violence, warfare, and terrorism, and to encourage the use of discussing, negotiation, compromise as means of settling differences, to use all other peaceful, nonviolent, and lawful means to aid in developing a state of order, reasonable order, peaceful order on the earth. Again, the starship Earth, wherein every human being has equal opportunity to exercise basic human rights. Thank you.